Are you living the Delaware Beach lifestyle? You can't live at the beach and do nothing. This up-and-coming year-round area has lots to offer. Find out where to eat, play, and serve. Living the ultimate dream.
Hey guys, welcome to the 302 Lifestyle Beach Podcast. Your host Dylan Ewing here. I just wanted to go over today a little bit about decluttering and minimalism. Why am I getting into this today? Some of you may not know this, but we have been in hundreds and hundreds of homes in Delaware. Over the past 9 years, we've had a small business here, and in all the homes, you see all kinds of stuff. People from hoarding to super, like only a couple items in each room. We've seen it all. We've also seen things packed to the ceiling. And in our own personal home, it may not be that bad, but, I've got the, usual junk drawer. We've got, a catch-all room where we just kind of randomly put stuff that nobody ever goes in. And, every couple months we'll clean it out or, but around this time, around Christmas time, we're kind of lazy. We don't feel like taking things upstairs. So we kind of put everything in one room. A guest will stay in the other bedroom and, of course we wash the sheets and stuff. And then, I don't know, there's just, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a loft upstairs that has become a room to keep all of my race car parts. And it's supposed to be the meditation room. But, and then the garage, of course, I'm super crazy about being neat and organized and clean. And hence I have a cleaning company. But like a weird fine line of having too much stuff. And what I noticed with myself is that for instance, the garage, I keep it pretty much cleaned up and organized and swept out and everything. But, once a year, there's dust everywhere, or throughout the year, I'll put an item here, put an item there, put an item there. And then before I know it, the whole counter is just covered in stuff, or there's it's got too cold outside. So then there's boxes laying everywhere. And before I know it, there's clutter. I noticed with clothes, we, in the summer and spring, we wash our clothes a lot. So they wear out fast, or the shirts get too tight, or there's just all kinds of things going on. And all of a sudden, by the way, one of the best things I've ever gotten for organization in my entire life was I got my wife a gift for closet organization, aka purses. But having I think it was behind closed doors come in, and by the way, they are just awesome, super friendly, great customer service, and came in, just took everything out in just one day. Dude came, took everything out, put all these nice shelves and racks and stuff up that are just super nice, organized, clean, and more expensive looking. And then it was so nice that I even had him do the pantry. Transformed the pantry in the closet, by the way. Okay, so we do these things. We buy clothes, we buy this, buy that, and then before you know it, all of a sudden you have rooms, closets, and drawers just stacked full of stuff. And those of you who have moved down here or have moved in your lives, I'm sure you came across the realization when you started putting stuff in boxes, like, oh my gosh, I have so much stuff. I don't even know what this stuff is. Or you move, you have all the boxes sitting in rooms, and you learn that all the stuff that you box up, you don't even remember what you had in there if it's been sitting there for a couple months. So anyways, I'm getting to this point of where did we get this thing of holding on to stuff so bad? And then we buy containers. My wife loves containers. We buy all these containers and we hide our stuff everywhere. I think the realization of one day I may need this thing, or, I'll go through the junk drawer. I try to get rid of stuff, organize stuff. And I look at this item and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even remember I had this, but I don't want to have to buy it if I ever need it. So I'm going to put it back in the junk drawer. So this is that crazy cycle I think that everyone gets going on in their life. And I'm curious, when is that point where we come to realize that we need to declutter. Um, Maybe when you have people over or guests or something like that. Well, my recent thing is that I just came across a guy that wrote a book about minimalism, and actually, let me pull up his name. And the cool thing is that he was just kind of working and going through life and doing all these things, and then all of a sudden, his name is Joshua Fields Milburn. Uh, him and his whoever it is, his partner wrote a book about minimalism, where how he was collecting all this stuff and cars and bigger house and climbing this corporate ladder, and all of a sudden one day he realized that a lot of the people that acquired all this stuff, and he thought that this stuff or things and money was going to make him happy, and that he realized that happiness was within, and that all of the stuff didn't make them happy, so obviously it's not going to make him happy, and he decided to start. He met this guy that was a huge um, minimalist, where he just had like 50 things in a backpack, and just traveled all over the place, and that allowed him to do what he loved and be happy. But there was a line between being too overboard with minimalism, and he knew that there was a middle, there was a in between, a practicality, and stopping the addiction of needing to buy stuff or acquire things, and then the fear of losing memories and stuff. So we decided to hold on to stuff that reminds us of things. So anyways, so we have just listened to this thing, and he has a 30-day challenge. It's where you get an accountability partner. You start with one day one, and you get rid of one thing. You each get rid of one thing. Then day two, you get rid of two things. Day three, three things. And he says at first it's pretty easy, but once you start getting to like 15, 20, it becomes a little challenging, and you start realizing your attachment to stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this challenge, and not only do it, but I'm going to go through things like the junk drawer, the catch-all room, the closet, the garage, and kind of I have a system. So the system is: step one, take everything out of wherever you want to declutter. So if it's the garage, what I do is I take, and this is based on our business and how we help people declutter and clean up and organize, which we don't do too much now, but I used to when I first started this. Thankful to the military, I think, helped me with this training. But you take everything out, you put it in a pile, or a middle of the room, or on the bed, or out of the garage. You just put everything in one place. If it's somewhat organized, you can still kind of keep it in its own little piles. But if it's like a junk drawer, just take everything out. Everything. And if you know where things are going to be going, or you have several drawers or several closets or whatever, just do it all at once. You take everything out. And what you do is you literally start with one item at a time. It may take a while, but if you continually just do it, like, you don't ask, you don't think about it, you don't get all crazy with it, you just take everything out. And then step two would be take one item at a time and put it in its place. And at first you're going to be walking all over the place. So what I like to do is I just start piles of places they're going to go. So for instance, junk drawers, everyone has the same stuff. Everyone has the same rooms. Usually they're just either bigger or smaller. So everyone has a place for the kitchen, where you keep plates, pots, pans, bowls, measuring stuff, forks, knives, stuff like that. You got a pantry where you keep, Anyway, so everyone has their own stuff. The garage keeps tools. You might have a little tool closet or drawer. Everyone has like a laundry space. Everyone has the office section or area or desk or sitting space. Everyone has all these different sections of the house. So when you take everything out and you clean it, then you take one item at a time, and you just look at it and say, where does this item go? And you just start taking one item at a time until finally everything's in its place. Now that drawer, closet, or space or room can become its own place. For the garage, it's a little bit more challenging because it's like a whole weekend thing. You want to make sure it's nice out. When you take everything out, You clean everything. What I did was I ended up painting the floor, which is a whole nother topic. Painting some of the walls and railings and stuff like that from being dirty. And then I did the same thing. I just started with one thing and I put it in its place, clean it up, tie up the cords. And that literally goes with anything. If you ever watch any of these tidying or organizing spaces, they have their own different tactics. But for the most part, you got to start with one item at a time. Anyways, so that's what we're talking about today. We're going to dive into this. I'm going to do the 30-day challenge. I'm going to try to convince my wife to do it. And the thing is that anytime you have something in your life, instead of just having stuff for no reason and not knowing why it's in your life, because that's using your energy to think about and manage and deal with that thing, just start asking yourself, does this thing give me value in my life? And if it does, great. Like book collections or anything like that you like having in your life for whatever reason, if it adds value to you in any way, of course, keep it if you like. But if you realize that, like with clothes, I try to set this rule as if we take something in, we have to take something out. So we donate things. You can also have yard sales, garage sales, things like that. So let me know what you guys think about that. We were going to start this challenge. I'll have this on the tail end of this when we finish. And here we go.
Wish you could spend more time having fun and less time with chores? Go to 302beachtalk.com to get $20 off a home cleaning. You'll be entered to win a completely free cleaning. Eat, play, serve. Sponsored by That Guy with a Broom.